Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking about what you need to get started if you want to do acrylic canvas or vases like I do, or cups or anything like that. So there's just a few basics things you're going to need, and I'm going to share those with you, and then I'll go over a few other things as well. But the first thing you're going to need is whatever you're going to put your acrylic paint on. So you're going to need canvases, which I usually get from Michael's. I get the value pack. They are the cheaper kind. They're $10.99 for, it depends what size you get, how many you get in a package. The bigger the size, the less pieces of individual canvases you will get in there. And same as the smaller size, you will get more in there. So $10.99 at Michael's. The reason why I get these is there's a couple reasons. Number one, it's because I was just starting out. I've only been doing this for like a year, and I don't want to spend $20+ on one canvas, not knowing if I'm gonna like doing this or how it's gonna work out for me. So I started with the cheaper stuff, and I'm still using it. It works just fine. So like I said, I just use the $10.99 value packs. So start with something like that, or whatever medium you're going to put your acrylic paint on. I also do wine glasses like this, so you can do something like this, and that will work as well. And then also I've done tumblers with acrylic paints, so you can do that as well. And then also, as we've done before, this is a vase I've done. You can do vases as well. So those are just a few things that you can do. You can also do it on special wood cutouts, that kind of stuff. So the first thing you're going to need, like I said, is whatever you're going to put your acrylic paints on. Canvas, vase, wine glass, whatever it is. So you're going to need something like that. Then of course you're going to need your paints. There's many different paints out there, and you can choose whatever you like. I started out with this Handy Art acrylic paint from Amazon. I didn't want to spend a lot of money, again, not knowing if this was going to work out for me. And it turns out it did. I'm still doing this a year later. So, but, excuse me, even if you do end up liking this, these are still good paints. So just because they're cheaper doesn't mean they're not, good. And again, they're Handy Art acrylic paints. I got them from Amazon. And you can also get... what are my other ones? Artist Loft Ready Mixed Paints. You can get these from, I got these from Michael's. I think you can probably get them on Amazon too. But I got those from Michael's. You can also get Artist Loft that's not ready to mix, where you mix your own stuff. So in that case, once you figure out what kind of paint you're going to buy, if you buy the kind that's not ready to pour, you're going to need some sort of mixing medium, whether it be Floetrol, which I'm actually out of that at the moment, or you can use something like this, which is a pouring medium. It's by Deco Art. You can use something like this as well. The Floetrol works really well. This does too, but it's a little bit more on the pricier side. So that's why I tend to use Floetrol. I actually was gifted that from someone that they didn't need it anymore. So that's how I got that and was able to try it. But typically I don't buy that just because it's more on the pricier side. So anyway, so you're going to need that. And then the next thing you're going to need, regardless of what medium you're using, especially though if you're using canvas, you're going to need a torch. Any kind of torch is fine. You can use, this is just like a cheap $29 torch from Amazon. They have even cheaper ones, but this is just the one that I went with. It got good reviews. So there's that. And the reason why you need this is to get any air bubbles out. You don't want air bubbles in your paint. So that's the main reason for this guy, is to get any air bubbles out. And then the last thing you're going to need is some sort of coating to top your canvas or your vases, whatever it is that you're using. This is Rust-Oleum triple thick glaze. You can use, and it's also a high gloss. You don't have to use high gloss. You can use a matte if you want. I just prefer my stuff to look glossy, so that's why I buy this, and it's triple thick, so it doesn't take as many coats as you would if it was just regular gloss. So the other thing that I use, not on my canvases, but on my vases and things like that, I use resin, which is this guy here. It's Amazing Clear Coat, Amazing Clear Cast by Illuminlight. And there's a part A and a part B. So one is the hardener, and then you mix the two equal parts together, and you have to mix it for a couple of minutes for it to be fully mixed, and then you apply it to your item. And again, if you use resin on your, whether you're using it on a canvas, your vase, or whatever, you're also going to need to get any bubbles out of that. So, because when you're mixing, you can create air bubbles from that. So you're going to need your torch again to get any air bubbles out from there. So for me, that's pretty much all you're going to need for to start simple stuff. The other thing I highly recommend is, once you figure it out what it is you want to do, and you want to know more about how to do that, YouTube videos are your best friend. I watched a ton of YouTube videos before I even started doing the canvas stuff. So watching techniques, because as you see with canvas work, with any of this stuff really, there's so many different techniques that you can apply the acrylic paint on there. You can dip like I did in my last video. You can put it on the cup turner and do a what do you call it? A tree, not a tree ring. I guess you could do like a tree ring on, pour over on your cup or your vase, whatever it is, even your canvas. So many different methods to so many different types of things. So do research and figure out what it is you want to try and how to do that. Hopefully my videos help with that a little bit. I'm still in the learning process, and always will be, to be honest with you, because if you feel you've crafted or mastered your art, then that you always have to keep learning. There's always new things to learn. Try different techniques. If you haven't seen something done before and something comes up in your head, try it out. That's what I do. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But overall, just like I said, do research and figure out how to do it, and do it over and over and over again until you figure that you're starting to get the process of that, and then move on to something else, different type of method. So I'm just going to recap everything that you're going to need just for the basics to get started. So again, you're going to need a canvas or something that you're going to put your acrylic paints on. Either a canvas, a vase, wine glass, anything like that. Then you're going to need your paints. If you buy paints that are not already to pour, you're going to need your mixing medium, such as Floetrol, or again, this pouring medium by Deco Art. And I'm not giving instructions today on how to do all of this stuff, like how to mix your paints. I can do another video of that if you want. But this is just the basics of what you need to get started, the supplies that you'll need. So again, if you want to see a video on how I mix my paints and that sort of thing, I can do that. Let me know down in the comments below. So that'll be the second thing. So your canvas or whatever it is that you're applying your paints on, you're going to need your paints, your mixing medium, and then also a torch for a couple of different reasons. You're going to need it to get the bubbles, air bubbles out of your paint on your canvas, or if you're using resin on anything, you're going to need it to get the air bubbles out of that as well. So those are pretty much, the only other thing actually I keep forgetting to mention is you're going to need some alcohol, at least 91% or higher. That is, you're going to need this if you're doing vases or anything glass related that gets fingerprints on it. You want to use this with a paper towel, not like a cotton ball or anything that's fuzzy, to get any fingerprints or any oils off of the glass. So that's pretty much the last thing. And like I said, you only need that when you're working with glass, glass items. Canvas and such, you won't need that. So those are the basics that you're going to need for doing your paints. Now, you will need some other supplies depending on what type of paint. Like if you're doing acrylic or canvas painting, there's different types, so you may need different equipment for that. That's a whole nother thing. So again, once you figure out what kind of things, what kind of art you want to create, you can do more research on that to see what other tools and supplies that you'll need. And if there's any questions you have about a specific type of painting or something that you've seen me do in previous videos and you want to know, I can let you know the tools you'll need for that. I can, post that down below. But otherwise, like I said, just watch a ton of videos, get as much information as you can before you dive into this and get started. So hopefully this was helpful. It's just the basics of what you're going to need to get started with this. And again, once you buy all the supplies and watch a few videos, just do it. Just go in and start it. That's the only way that you're going to learn is by practice, practice, practice. So hopefully this video helped you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!